I just finished filming a video for my other channel, Table for Two, just a silly little channel where I film myself eating my weekly cheat meals, which is why my lips are so red and succulent right now, ladies. And yeah, it was just an awful experience where I ate the spiciest mala. I'll leave a link for my channel if you want to check it out. But it got me thinking, tomorrow I'm gonna attempt to run a 10K because I have a 10K Standard Chartered marathon coming up soon. And God, just like the horrible, horrible time that I'm gonna have on the toilet bowl, I can't even begin to fathom it. You know those shits where like you take off your shirt and you clutch your stomach and you're like bent down you're in a brace position for when a plane is gonna crash. Yeah, that's kind of the position that I envision myself to be in well, I didn't wear a watch, in exactly 12 hours maybe. But also the reason why I wanted to film that video is because I wanted to up my spice tolerance a little bit, or really sort of check my ancestry if I'm really Korean or not, because you know Koreans are known for taking their spice, and I'm not really good at any of that actually. I like spicy food, but I'm not really good with spicy food, which is why ultimately I decided to take on the challenge of the spiciest mala that I could find at my favorite mala place. But the main reason why I don't really eat spicy food that much these days is because I'm on a very strict chicken and broccoli diet. I know I'm gonna keep repeating chicken and broccoli as like a feared object, like how everyone in Harry Potter doesn't want to save Voldemort. But yeah, it's not really like a great diet to be on, honestly. Chicken breast, I try to season it with as much seasoning as I can, and I try to not use any oil, and we don't have an air fryer too, so it just ends up being this like leathery piece of shit that I just end up chewing over and over again, and it's kind of miserable, like just eating the same thing over and over again. Which is why yesterday I went to the grocery store and bought a big thing of Tabasco sauce. Tabasco sauce, it only has around like 12 calories per 100 ml. And I don't really count calories that much. I just eat the same thing over and over again so I don't have to. But I doused that motherfucking chicken breast like how I imagined 9-year-old me would smother a fire with my own piss. And I thought nothing of it. I really miss spicy food, and eating the chicken breast with any different flavor profile was really a step up for me. But push come to shove, when I got off of work, I felt a little bit of a grumble. And my office is in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. It's pretty much in the middle of like a really residential zone with a lot of landed houses, and then it's like a 12-minute walk to the nearest mall. And the signal for me to shit was right in the middle of between my office and the mall. And when the signal came, I was hauling ass like a white lady in her walkathon. Now, as an adult male, I'm pretty sure a lot of us come into really close calls with almost shitting our pants, more than we'd like to admit. And this was definitely one of those times. And it really brought me back to this really funny instance that happened to me, really embarrassing. But of course, I'd like to share it with the world and put myself out there because I like new experiences, so they say. So when I was little, every Sunday my parents would take me to go golfing with them in Malaysia. Singapore and Malaysia are really close, and there's like a connecting bridge at either Tuas or Woodlands checkpoint that you could cross to go to the other country. So we'd wake up at around like 5 in the morning and drive up to Johor to play a game of golf. And I fucking hated it. I hate golf. I still hate golf. I was never good at it. Probably the primary reason that I hated it, but it's like, God, you wake up so early in the morning, and as a guy, I think you know your body clock, and you know you need to shit in the morning. And that was my biggest fear as a child, because what if the traffic jams and I can't shit? When you wake up a little too early in the morning, you know you have to get that shit out of your system because it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass, quite literally, later in the day. And the reason why we'd have to wake up so early in the morning is I think the first tee off is at around 7 a.m. So we would wake up at around 5 a.m. to skip the traffic jam that there is usually. And I fucking hated waking up so early in the goddamn morning for that shit to play a game that I don't even fucking like. To slave away in the hot sun. I know it sounds insanely privileged, and to a certain extent it is. They keep saying, oh, you'll appreciate it when you grow older. And I'm older now and I don't appreciate it still. Anyway, not here to talk about that. One fateful day, we went on a public holiday, from what I recall, and there was a lot of traffic congestion on the checkpoints. It was really bad. Usually you get to just skip the queue because there isn't any at 5 a.m. and you go straight into the security checkpoint where they just stamp your passport and you're free to go. But it was so bad to the point where there's like a bridge that leads to the security checkpoint area, and then there's like the grasslands. We were at the grasslands, and the bridge is quite a long bridge actually. So it was really far, and it wasn't budging. But unfortunately my bowels were, and I felt that right to the core. At the checkpoint area, there is a bathroom, but I just knew with the rate that it was going at, there was no way I'm gonna be able to reach there in time. There's no way I'm gonna be able to contain the long brown snake within me until we reach there. God, I was scrambling. I told my parents, I'm like, Mom, Dad, I need a shit so bad. Also, to preface this was when I was like 16. So it wasn't when I was in like a gabagoo age where I couldn't control my bowels. And I told my parents, Mom, Dad, I really need to go to the bathroom. I need a shit so bad. And they said, you gotta get out there. You gotta climb the fence and then you gotta take a shit. And I'm like, okay, but how can I not do that? In the moment of desperation, I remember there was like an envelope. You know those like, those airplane seats where they have the sort of net that you have on your car to like, on like the back of the seat to store stuff. We have that at our car. And I think my dad's car insurance envelope was there. And I was like, Dad, can I shit in the envelope? And my dad, he looked me dead in the eyes and he said, you are not shitting in my envelope. And it was getting really bad to the point where I was just twisting and squirming in the car. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I have to get out there and shit. So 15-year-old me, I grabbed a thing of wet wipes, much like these. I stepped outside of my car, and there's like so many cars in this road that are not moving at all. And they're just watching me get out and close the door. And I walk to the left, and you know how roads, they have this like guardrail that sort of segregates the roads and the grasslands? I climb over that guardrail, I crouch, and I take off my pants, and I shit on the grass. So not really my proudest moment. I'm pretty sure everyone else in their cars were just watching me walk over and climb over that guardrail, the walk of shame, and crouch below and take a fat dookie. No fucking way they didn't know. And when I was crouching down, I was so scared that there was gonna be a snake ready to bite my balls or something. I had a huge phobia of snakes. I still do now. I read like a book about snakes at a really young age and it fucked me up. But yeah, that was truly terrible. At least I had wet wipes though. Anyway, I guess my close call of almost shitting my age at the ripe age of 20 sort of whiplashed me back to the embarrassing teenage moment of me shitting at the Malaysian border. Yeah, I guess that's about it. See ya.